Ta-da! Low special effects budget.
Yay! Good morning!
Good morning! Welcome to the Sun Dragons Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
We're all like, ta-da! That's me this morning. After a somewhat restful, but maybe not weekend. Ta-da! Hello, I'm Rebecca. I feel like this is tall, but otherwise it'd be too short. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in sunny but cold Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. It's going to warm up. Just a little bit.
Well, to like the 40s.
Maybe even to 50.
Okay, that's not what my watch said this morning. But I was at a higher elevation. Not that I think my watch is that smart. My windshield had little frost birds all over it. Mm-hmm. Not frost, just little like...
Oh, we got a hard frost at the house.
Oh, I never do. I very rarely do I have to scrape my windshield. And today I should have. Start with a couple stories. I should have. And I was like, oh, I can see between these little frosty birds. I'm just going to like turn my defroster on really, really high and go. I'll be fine. And then some of the angles I was driving at, the sun hit them. Mm-hmm. Couldn't see a thing.
Nope.
Waited until my defroster kicked in a little bit more to, I think I went by someone who's walking his dog who probably looked at me like, I would have looked at me like, what are you doing? Why didn't you clear your windshield?
Well, so. As I was driving into town, there was somebody parked at waiting at the light who had just cleared off
the little down
enough and, got windshield wipers flapping quickly and wildly and,
Growing up north, I criticized those people heavily. And then I did what I did today. So, pot kettle, right? So, it was I hope there's no deer running around because I can't see anything. But I took care of it quickly. I didn't drive too far like that. I don't advise doing that. Should have had some more time and I was going to get out, the froster with the scraper I was going to go for a walk this morning. Try to get back into the routine of walking around the block before. And A, I was running late. And B, it was 20 degrees outside. So, C, I have these little clogs on right now, which probably could make it around the block. I mean, I'm in them all day, right? But they're not as secure as my sneakers. And my sneakers are still covered in mud from going to look at the Atherton lights in Illinois. Mm-hmm. I bagged them up and packed them. Mm-hmm. And I took them out of the bags this morning and tried to wash them off. Mm-hmm. So they're wet. Mm-hmm. So didn't happen today. Maybe tomorrow. I'm trying to move again, and it's hard when it's cold outside to move outside. I don't have a treadmill or anything inside, so I have a funny story to share about my cat, and then we can show off our stuff. Okay. So I am mildly terrified that my cat is going to escape. He's going to figure out how to open the front door, the glass door, right? Because it latches, but, he used to be able to unlatch doors like that when he was a kitten. So I try to extra secure it, because I'm always afraid he's going to get out. And if he gets out, he's either going to run away, or he's going to get scared and hide under the porch, and I can't get him out from under the porch. There have been some porches I can crawl under, not this one. So, I want to say it was Saturday after going home. Mm-hmm. I come in, I let the door slam shut behind me, but I leave the inside door open, so it's just the glass door. Because he likes to look out, and it gives him another opportunity, another angle to look out. I don't feel so bad about forcing him to be an indoor cat. And, I'm mollifying myself, basically. And I go to unpack or to start cooking or something. I'm in the kitchen. And I hear this banging. I'm like, it's finally happened. He's finally trying to open the door. He's finally trying to escape. Lately, he's been really good at this house about, when I have to come in and out through the door and I come at the door, he'll run and hide. He hasn't tried so much to super bolt for the door. He's only done that a couple times. So I'm just he has gone into escape mode, and he's trying to escape. Like, what is the banging? And I go around the corner just in time to see him do another running attack at the door. And he threw his full weight at the door. 15-pound cat. But I realized it wasn't. It was like this. He like ran at the door and was like, ah! And I was like, what the heck is going on? Turns out there was a dog outside.
He was protecting you.
He was trying to attack this dog that was probably at least 25 to 50 pounds. It was like, when I looked out, he was just kind of sitting in the driveway just off the porch being like he wasn't a huge dog, but he was definitely bigger than my cat. And I think I've seen this dog before. I want to say it lives down the road. Like, I've seen him in the past. He's got a collar. He's got a tag. He was barking. He wouldn't let me get close enough. I went outside. Didn't let the cat outside. So I don't know what that would have led to. I think with the glass barrier, my cat was very bold. He wouldn't... He was barking, but he wasn't attacking. But he also wouldn't let me get... He let me sniff it. Like, he came up to sniff my hand when I was really quiet. And I could kind of pet him, but I couldn't reach for his tag. I think he would have gotten upset. And then he wandered off. He didn't look like he was lacking for food, and I think I've seen him, like, over the past year in the neighborhood. So I think he just wanders away from home and back again. Like, dogs aren't supposed to be unleashed in my neighborhood. But
He's on a walkabout.
Yeah, it's not the first time that I've seen him, so I'm not super worried that someone's lost their dog. But and eventually he just trotted down the road to where I'd seen him before. But I was impressed with my cat on some level. I was like, oh, okay. I think that the deer just haven't gotten close enough for him to bodily throw himself at the door. And the dog was curious, but I was just going. I was thinking to my cat, you do know if y'all fought, you probably wouldn't win. But I don't think he did know that. So I got to watch my cat do this at the, like, he was, boom. He hasn't done that to a person or another animal.
Stay back, Mom, I'm protecting you.
I gotcha. And I was like, what on earth? And I don't think I had locked the door. Like,
yeah.
So if he had thrown himself at it hard enough or hit that little drop handle, which he's done when he was a kitten, he would be outside. So that's my fun story for the day. We haven't had any mousecapades or anything lately, so that's my fun. Like, it was just, I was impressed. So, and then the rest of the weekend, he was either snuggling against me or, like, last night, all day, we're having this snuggly, wonderful, like, I showed you the picture where I sat, he usually takes my spot on the couch when I'm cooking dinner, and instead of kicking him off, I sat at the other end of the couch, and he was like, oh, good, Mom, I'm going to come snuggle against you. I have photographic proof that I sent Liz of how comfortable with me he was.
Absolutely, just snuggled.
And then I shifted to the other end of the couch at one point, and he snuggled. He went right next to me, and he was purring, and he was snoring, and I got complacent, and then out of nowhere, like, I didn't see it coming. I totally...
He lulled you into a false sense.
He did. I didn't even see the blacks of his eyes that are my warning that he's about to attack. He bit into me and he just chomped and ran away so hard. Like, it seriously hurt. And I've got, like, a bruise down here from it. And I can't show you because it's too far up, but he left marks in me up here, like he chomped on my arm. My arm must have moved funny, and, like, he just...
Cuddly evil.
Well, I think especially after this dog incident, like, he got puffy when the dog was, and so every once in a while, if something moves too fast, I think he's got a little PTSD from the dog, so he gets puffy, and I'm just like, it's just me. All right. So, what did you do this weekend, Liz? What progress? Let's show off our progress, because then we have to open the shop because I got here.
Progress.
Okay.
I got
or what do
more
you want to
stripes done on my sleeves. my striped sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
So
your sleeves are longer than your torso.
Sleeve
now, right?
separation here. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sleeve separation was at this red line, and I probably got 2 repeats of the stripes done this weekend. So my sleeves are like 8 inches,
3
and
colors?
they need
Okay.
they need to be at least 12.
Okay, so they're 8 inches. They need to be 12. So you're over halfway.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So I worked on that, and then last week, I want to say Thursday after we filmed, I decided I needed a new sweater. So I started.
You got a lot of sweaters on needles right now, don't you?
Yep.
This one is so soft.
Oh, it is super soft.
So tell us about it. I will just say it's 3 strands held together.
It's 3 strands. It's a strand of Mayu lace, a strand of llama lace, and a strand of Aini. So
that's
it's llama for the llama lace.
Llama lace is 100% llama.
Aini is silk and alpaca.
Mm-hmm.
And Mayu lace is silk, alpaca, and cashmere.
Lots of soft stuff. And every single one of those is at most light sport weight to lace weight. So they're all thin yarns. And you are... What size needle are you knitting them on?
An 11.
An 11. So I would say all 3 of those held together...
Comes close to a worsted.
Comes close... Yeah, I was going to say maybe... Yeah, it comes close to
light
a worsted. And you're doing it on an 11, which gives it all this space to be extra soft.
It is... Oh my gosh.
It's going to be like butter.
So this
Silky
is the
butter
end
when
of
you
my
wear it.
first bowl of Aini, because it is just 50.
They're just 50 grams. It's like 200 something yards, right? Yeah. But it's made you've gotten through a good chunk of your yoke. I feel like
I'm 29 rows into 46.
it's over halfway. Yeah.
When I wound the Aini
Estimations.
and the Mayu lace, they were the same size balls, but this ball had twice the yardage.
Yeah.
That this one did. So,
Yeah. Actually, the Mayu lace, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Never mind. Yeah. 50 grams for both.
Yep.
My brain's catching up.
So, it's been my soft and
What was that?
probably the Kleenex box.
No, Kleenex box is there. Something else fell. We'll pick it up later.
So it's got 46 increase in set rounds.
Okay.
So
you're like the queen of marling right now. I feel like you've got a couple of those going.
The whole marling thing, like there's a color I'm looking for, and I'm like, I'll just make it. And sometimes it works, and
like
sometimes it
mixing paint.
doesn't. And but this is like I don't have a
They're
purple
all like
sweater,
pinky
so
purples.
yeah, it's almost that plum, But there's 3 different shades.
That's awesome.
So, and if you look really close at the stitches, like it'll be hard to show you guys, but most of the time you get 2 different colors in a stitch.
You want me to hold it up close to the camera?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to
Maybe.
see like a single stitch, but
Ta-da! It's really pretty.
yeah.
It's really, really pretty.
So, it's my new purple sweater.
Yay.
So, and it'll be warm because winter is coming.
Winter is always coming or here or something. So that's why I have this hat on. Do you have other things? Or
No.
Can I go into the crazy things I've been doing?
You can. I was going to make a new dress today, and I got it to the point that I need to pin it, so I brought it in today. But
yeah, pinning takes a ton of time, doesn't it?
Yeah. I had issues with my serger, like my thread broke, and then I opened the serger to rethread it and was like, ooh, I have not cleaned this in like
fuzzies and dust bunnies and
many dresses.
Did you have like fuzzies on steroids in there?
Oh yeah, it was like flannel.
Oh no,
all compacted in there. So anyway.
Well, that should make it satisfyingly like if you get a little corner, you might be able to go like.
Yes and no. Some of it fluffs. I got it cleaned out. Had to vacuum and.
I've discovered that I have a flannel. I I have flannel sheets, and I think it's pretty much a flannel duvet cover. Like a really nice duvet cover my parents got me for my birthday. And it's like sagey green and pretty. And attracts cat hair like nobody's business. Oh my gosh, it's almost a different color now because of all the cat hair on it. Like,
flannel acts like
I'm a little
Velcro.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about washing it. I mean,
Oh no, it'll wash up beautifully. Like,
no, I know it'll wash, but I'm worried about clumps of cat hair that don't get caught. That instead of getting caught in the filter,
they should get caught in the filter.
Okay, because sometimes I wash things, and instead of it getting caught in the filter, if it's a material that catches fibers, like some of my unmentionables, they will get clumps of fuzzies on them instead of it going in the filter. So, anyway, I think I'm gonna take my cleaner to it, like not the scratchy part of it, but the lint brush side of it. I think I'm gonna have to, like, my little cleaner. I'm gonna lint brush my whole thing before I wash it. Anyway, so I made this last week, and I had reports of, and I'll tell you what it is in a second, but I had reports that the length was too short, so I'm that when other people made it, so I made it a little longer, and now it's extra long. But that gives me options.
She's been living in it since she made it, so
a little. Well, it was cold this morning, and then I figured I wouldn't take it off at the shop because we were gonna film. But I'm gonna take it off to show it to y'all, and then just kind of let my hair do its thing. That's the one thing about hats, is having a hat head, you know. But it is what it is, and I'm not gonna.
Your hair looks fine.
I'm gonna mildly stress about it because I just stress about my hair all the time.
Your hair looks fine.
Thank you.
When you ran your fingers through it, it just all went boing, and it looks good.
Yeah, this is day 2 after washing with the curly products I'm trying to use. Anyway, and I have new fairy hair that probably doesn't show up on camera that is supposed to blend more and be sparkly with the, instead of like different colors, it's similar. Anyway, for people who are wondering about fairy hair, the next time she comes, maybe March. And we may try to do it outside because of our mask policy. So we'll see. That is always weather dependent, which can throw everything for a loop. So, but this is the Snowglobe. This is from our winter make-along of cables from the Lazy Sunday Tin Can Knits collection. I had already made the Westerly, which has braids in it. And I saw other people doing the Snowglobe, which has like little, it goes whoop, whoop. I mean, you saw it on my head, probably like, da. So, I saw it and was like, ooh, that's so cool. I think I actually want to make that one. For some reason, seeing the cover photo on Ravelry did not inspire me as much as seeing other people make it. It's kind of the fun of a make-along, right? So, and then I went, well, it's written for worsted. Turns out it's actually written for light worsted DK, but I used a worsted anyway. I used the Saxony that we have that is merino and cashmere. So, oh my gosh, one of the reasons I'm living in this. Last week it was because it was so soft on my head and I had a migraine, and it was just lovely. This week it's just because it's so soft and lovely. So, this is what I have left over of my second skein. I did need more than one skein of the Saxony to make this, and that is because they're 50-gram skeins. They're really floofy, and they look like 100-gram skeins, but they're 50-gram skeins with like 100-something, maybe 140 yards, 120, something like that on it. So if I turn this inside out, because I haven't woven any of my ends in, of course, still wearing it. Got the top, got the bottom. The first skein got me to here, and I needed the second skein for it was just a few rows of completing the third repeat of the bubbly things and the decreases. So I think I measured I weighed this last week, and there were like 37, it was only about 15 grams of this that I needed to finish the hat.
So 3 of them would get you 2 hats.
3 of them would get you 2 hats. So this is expensive, though. We're talking about probably close to $100 for 3 of these. But that would get you 2 hats. If someone was knit worthy enough, and that includes you, to make a lovely plushy hat, I really highly recommend it. I have the luxury that I own the shop, so I get to play with all the yarn. But this is like, it's nice. I do really love it. Saxony is wonderful.
They're my favorite sweaters.
Your Saxony sweaters?
My Saxony
She's
sweaters.
Got multiple. Can you imagine how much money went into that?
I work at a yarn shop.
Yeah.
I reinvest my paycheck. It's what you do.
So the other things I did, sticking with the knit along, I left this. This was this morning's morning meditation, which Instagram is having trouble posting the video of me doing the cables, which is really, really annoying. So I might have to totally redo it later today if there's even time. But this is the Tarn. I still have it on stitch holders to show it off. This is how my Tarn blanket is going so far. And I'm trying not to pull the barber cord off the needle here. But I am just getting to, let's see, I'm halfway through the row that completes the second twist. It's like still the first repeat of the pattern. But I'll hold this up. These are what the twists are looking like. I'm doing the smallest version.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't it cute? I'm doing the smallest version of this blanket, which means I'm only doing 2 repeats. It's like 2 twists per repeat, I think. And I'm doing 2 repeats of this before it's done, because it's going to be a small, like a stroller size blanket, just so I can show y'all how it goes and actually get it done, hopefully. I'm on my second skein of Cascade 220 Superwash. This one's written for worsted, and I'm using like a light worsted DK for it, so the stitch definition is a little crisper and a little thinner, but I still really love how it's coming out. I have it on 1 circular right now, so I put it on the barber cord so people can see the size it's getting to. So again, it's meant to be it's meant to be a small one. There are 3 sizes for the blanket option. There's also a shawl option for this one. So, other stuff that I did, I have a couple other things to show. Maybe 3. And then we have to open the shop. So, I decided with all the leftovers for all the gnomes I made last fall and winter, both the Viking ones and the Christmas ones I made, we're helping spread the word of the crochet for Nathalie. It's not really a fundraiser. It's a wish list that Nathalie, who has a pretty severe diagnosis, cancer diagnosis, is trying to do. She's trying to get at least 100 blankets. There's a Facebook link I'll try to put in the comments. She's trying to get at least 100 blankets by mid-February to donate to kids with cancer, that kind of stuff. So I decided it doesn't have to be crochet, but I was like, ooh, I could crochet using the leftovers, and I decided to, okay, there's my crochet hook. Change colors every row, make 1 giant granny square blanket, and I'm almost through. My cat was sleeping on it last night, so I couldn't get all the way through using every color twice. A couple colors I don't have enough for another row, but this is how big it's gotten so far. And I'm hoping that an edge of just double crochet all the way around, not granny square stuff, will stabilize the edge, because it's a little wonky. But I want to say I am at 26 inches across. I'd like to go to 36, but it's so retro awesome, and I'm trying not to use any color in the same order, which has been its own challenge. But this is almost inspiring me. I want to do 1 crochet make along this year, and I'm still picking what the topic is going to be. It could be something with granny squares, which for some people is like and for some people is like, oh cool. I'm also looking at the Dottie or the Fall River for that, but this is how it's going, and I still have a ton of yarn left over from all these projects, so I'm really excited it made it this far. Once I've used, I have like 3 or 4 colors still to go for rows, and once I finish that, I think I have the right side facing me, not that it matters. I've been sewing in ends as I go, which is unusual for me, but then it's done.
But then it's done.
Right? Once I use every color twice, I may just start doing the rows of edging that aren't granny square, but are just double crochets all the way across, and then corners. I'm not using a pattern for this. I started with just the 4 in the center. I'm crocheting I'm chaining 2 at the corners, and I'm chaining 1 between each set of 3 double crochets for this. I tried with something bigger, looser, and I didn't like the structure of it. So there's only 1 chain between, and you don't even have to put any chains between. I'm putting 1 chain between my clusters. They're not really true clusters, but groupings of 3 double crochets.
That could be why it's getting floppy the further out you go.
And guess what? I'm not redoing it.
No, I know. That I'm just because of the count.
Although, I mean, when I've seen instructions for granny squares, they don't tend to not, like, the one we have that I've made, the log cabin, doesn't have anything in between.
Yes, but for smaller granny squares,
That's
sometimes
okay.
there's one. Like, in the middle, it's not as bad. But when you consider every 3 goes to the middle, so, like, adding the extra granny square is probably what's throwing the shape off. Adding the extra stitch. You probably, for bigger things, that 1 stitch is going to just keep.
Well, maybe when I do the double crochets around the edge, I'll skip that chain. I won't put a double crochet there. Maybe. But I'm not changing how I'm doing it right now.
No, I get that. I'm just it's one of those that
I don't think it's too
adding
bad,
the extra could be the reason it's wobbly.
Maybe. Yeah. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not changing how I'm doing it. And I'll try, if I have to rip out the edge because the edge is becoming extra wonky, then that's okay. I will modify. That's the cool thing about crochet. You can fudge it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to go in just a second, but I want to show off 2 more things that I am working on. And the smaller thing first, This is the first ball that I wound using Liz's technique of keeping my fingers under the wind I was doing before twisting. And I think I have one here that I didn't use that for, and it's thicker yarn than this, but looks just this thin because my tension was like really tight. So I tried. It's not perfect, but I did it. I'm very proud of myself.
Is it a squishy ball? Oh, it's a squishy ball.
It's got squishy to it. I was so worried it was going to just fall apart by doing that, and it didn't. And I saw someone else winding yarn in some random video or reel, and they were doing the same thing you did. And I was like, this is amazing. She's a genius. Oh, other people do this too? What? But I learned it from you. So I am starting, my nephew has a birthday in early February, and I'm making him a sock head hat. Super basic, super neutral yarn. He's turning 16. Maybe he'll actually wear it if it's simple and neutral, right? So I'm making this for him. And I put the sleeves, this is kind of awesome, and it's hard to show off because it's a bottom up, but I think I did this after we filmed last week. So I put the sleeves together with the torso on, and I've done a couple rows. I stayed up too late last night because I started a little bit of the raglan decreases.
Ooh.
It's kind of hard to show off because it's all jammed on, but this is my Reluctant Homeschooler with sleeves. It's like, woo. I would have to put on barber cords and other things and attempt to put it on, and it would probably stop right about here. And I think these sleeves may end up being short, but I don't care. There is a hole, and that's on purpose. Okay. Have you ever made a bottom-up sweater?
Nope.
Part of a bottom-up sweater is you bind off for, like, the thing that you pick up when you're doing top-down.
Oh.
You have to sew this shut at the end.
Oh.
So Liz was all like, you got a hole! And it's like, no, that's what happens with bottom-up sweaters. That's why some people don't like bottom-up sweaters, is you have to sew this shut later. That's on purpose.
Okay.
When you put it all on the needle, like this, that's what I had to bind off on the sleeves because I hadn't done it. Because you need to match those holes up, and then you sew that up later. That's not an error.
Okay. I'd never know.
This is my first bottom-up sweater. I've helped people with bottom-up sweaters, but I have not made one myself, and that is actually a thing with them. You knit across here. You do a bind-off row for the armholes on your torso, and then purling back across. You're purling the front, and then you just go across the sleeves and across the back and across the sleeves and across the front. There's no way to fix that hole until you're done.
Okay.
Trust me on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you think about how it joins together, you can't do the underarm, which you can do when you're doing top down. Which is why I realized one of the sweaters on my short list for the August color work, it's a bottom up. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's going to make the cut because it's cute. But I don't know. It's a bottom up. It's one of Jennifer Steingass's really early ones. And I think ever since then, I think she's always done top down. And I kind of like the idea for people who've never done color work before. Like, it has some color work at the bottom, too. But for people who've never done color work before, a top down is probably going to be easier. So, because of this. Anyway, we need to go.
Yes.
But that's all the stuff I made at least a little bit of progress on. I'm trying to, like, get all these things so I can go and finish them and finish it or frog it February. I don't know about that. Anyone who's local, there's still tons of room in our Timber Mitts class that starts, it's this Saturday, the 28th of January, and then 2 weeks from that date is the second class. So contact us if you would like to learn how to make these cabled fingerless mitts. We have space in the class. I don't do virtual classes at this time because I just don't have enough hours in the day, unfortunately. But Sit and Stitch tonight, 7 to 9 p.m. That is virtual. You can join that from anywhere, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Get into Zoom with the shop phone number.
828-877-3550.
And tomorrow we will put something else on sale. Today is your last chance to get the Cascade Heritage Wave that we have. Not Heritage Wave, sorry. The Cascade 220 Superwash Wave that we have in stock for 15% off with the code Product of the Week. We will put something else on sale tomorrow. And if you have a question you would like us to ponder and give our best guess at, then for Thursday's Dear Becky and Lizzie episode, you should email
Liz@sundragonartandfiber.com.
I think that covers most of our bases, and we will see you tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We're inching closer to that 1,500 subscribers will be our next subscriber threshold sale. We're plotting something maybe for next week that's different, but we're going to wait till next week to talk to you about that. Cliffhanger! If anyone's watching the episode numbers, you'll know why. But we also have Patreon if you'd like to support the shop in any financial way for a monthly subscription. And yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
I gotta go find my mask. It's around here somewhere. Bye!
Bye!